Righto, look at that big girl. Been sitting here a long time. Let's get stuck into her. Righto, I feel like I'm in like an 80s boy band, Wet Wet Wet. Isn't that a band or something? Righto, so what we've got, Subaru RS Liberty, all-wheel drive turbo. Now, these were a very significant car in the lineup of Subaru. Okay, so I'm drenched and it's wet today, but anyway. This thing's been sitting here nearly 20 years. The interior is actually really, really good. Like, look at that. Absolutely spot on. So manual, all-wheel drive. I met the guy the other day. He come to change over my FPOS machine, and we started talking about cars and the Mazda I got because he knew about that one. And he had this one. He had a black one that got T-boned, and then he ended up getting this one. This is like many years ago from locally here in Kingatow from Subaru. We started talking about that had been sitting here, and when he got home, he opened the bonnet and there'd been a rat's nest happen, which is all that. And yeah, he got a call and he said, look, something's got to happen with this car, it can't sit in here anymore, do you want to buy it? So yeah, we've done a deal and I bought it. So the paint's gone off a little bit on the back here, so we're gonna have to redo that, probably have to redo some tint. But right now I'm gonna put some air in the tires, drag her out. We're gonna have to, before I start it or do anything with it, I'll have to pull the timing cover off to check the timing belt, make sure it's not all cracked, and we'll have to look at what fuel's in it. Hopefully there's a drain plug in these, I'm not positive, and go from there. This is a significant car for me too, because when Savannah, my first daughter, was born, I had to get a car because all I had was modified cars, a GT HO replica, Monaros, two-door stuff, all modified stuff, and I needed a family car, and we actually bought just a front-wheel drive manual Liberty. Exactly the same vehicle as this was Savannah's car, Savannah's first car that we bought for her for the baby seat and all the rest of it. So I had a standard car. But yeah, so this Subaru Liberty, yeah, significant to Subaru and significant to me. So yeah, righto. Let's get some air in the tyres, get her dragged out and on the truck so we can go and check her out. My plan of pumping the tyres up, I got this one pumped up and I've just hooked the winch up, so let's see if she's going to move. So was stored with the handbrake on. She's going to roll, which is great. We'll just check the other side. We've got mud wasp nests in the bonnet and everything. Madness. Absolute madness. Yep, that one's turning, they're all turning. I got a little bit of air in this one. So yeah, righto. Let's drag her out, get to the front of it so I can tow it on. See, that's what it's all about there. All-wheel drive. Yeah, buddy. Righto. Let's drag this out, get it on the truck. It's one of those things where I was hoping to do a big clean up on this thing, but because it's raining, it'll end up clean before I get to the car wash. So this is her out. It's yeah, what a beast. I'm so happy with this thing. It's going to come up sweet. Yeah, it's not a modification car, it's a more a preservation car. Yeah, I don't know. It might go a little bit lower, maybe do wheels, but other than that it'll be pretty standard. You can get a, I think it's called a Q square lip kit for it, which look pretty cool. Might be something I'll look at doing. But she is awesome. Yeah. I wonder if they do like an STI scoop for these, the same as they do with the WRX, you can get slightly bigger scoop. But anyway, I am absolutely drenched. But anyway, I'm Daryl today. Where is it? Daryl. Jeez, it's the 1st of December and it is freezing. Righto, this is where we're at. She is an absolute mess. I'd love to hold the camera and do it at the same time. But let's see how we go. I'll try and set it up. See you can watch. Gonna happen. Anyway, I don't know if it's come up good or bad. The lens is wet. That was clean, but I just blew out the inside of the doors. Like I just washed inside there to get that cleaner, and that come out. But she's a lot cleaner. It is raining today, so all that'll come off. I just sprayed out inside the boot, around the boot a bit too. There's a few marks around her, but all in all, it's come up well. I've done the engine bay as well. Yeah, she's a beast. It's going to come up good. So I'm absolutely drenched now. So I'm going to load this back up and go and get changed. And yeah, so anyway, yes, all-wheel drive turbo Liberty, yes. Okay, new day. What a mission that was, washing this thing. Let's have a quick look at it now while it's on the truck. There's a few marks here on the back bar. That's just crap. There's a ding. You can see how dirty it was, like the windows are still pretty bad. I did wash inside the doors a bit. It will need more, and I'll have to leave the doors, but that looks heaps nicer in there now. I did find there was a lot of dirt up in here, so I'll have to do an extra pressure wash. But the interior is really good in this. I'm really happy with it. Bird shit on it already. That headlight thing there is cracked. I'll probably get more of them just to keep it nice. I'll take that off and polish underneath it. I think with the polish, the thing's going to come up pretty good. Pretty happy with it, to be honest. We're going to check out if it's got a drain plug in the fuel tank, which it's a plastic tank, so it probably doesn't. Oh, look at that wasp nest there. God damn. They're the bad ones, guys. Like, anyone that lives out west knows about those. Those are the paper ones, and they're the ones that get you. These ones here, those mud wasps, they don't matter. They're the big ones. It's the little ones that hammer you, and they, dude, that's all I can say, dude. Righto, doesn't look like we have a drain plug. I'll double check that though. Yeah, I want to get rid of the fuel out of it before we do too much. You can see the crap come out when I cleaned in there. So it's going to come up pretty nice, guys. This is a really nice car. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm thinking new tint, definitely. Rear roof wing. Changing this wing, I think. Any of the stuff I take off though, I'll hold on to. Probably 30mm lowered, just springs, not coilovers. Unless WRX one's fixed. I've got a set of WRX coilovers there. Wheels, I'm not too sure at this stage. I do like the standard ones. But yeah, anyway. Let's get her over to the workshop, get her off, and see if we can't get her to go. That's the big one for me, is getting it to run. Oh, yeah, he had a dog, so there's dog hair in the back, but that's fine, we can sort that out. We'll get creative. The interior is really nice, really on point. I don't think he wasn't a smoker, which is a bonus because they're all untouched. Yeah, really good detail inside and out, under the door rubbers, the whole lot. It's going to be sweet. I'm very excited. Very excited. Yep. Just went to the servo to get fuel for the truck, but I think I might just jump up and put power to this. There's no drain plugs in the tank. It is a steel tank, but there aren't any drain plugs. But I might just put power to it and see what the fuel gauge is going to do, because if it's real low, I might just top it up with some clean fuel and take a punt. I won't put too much in, but yeah, I did wash under here yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see how she's come up. I wouldn't say it's spotless, but it is clean. I love this whole chimney, because see how they have the bonnet scoop, but on normal WRX you have a big intercooler here, like an air intercooler, whereas they have a water intercooler on this, and that's a chimney that cools the exhaust housing. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's get some power to it, see what it's going to do. I have checked the oil in it, and the oil is really, really clean. So yeah, righto, power, fuel gauge, see what it's going to do. Just had a guy, the joys of a small town, he saw it on the back of the truck and he said, oh, you know, the guy that you bought this off, he was my apprentice at the time when he bought it, and when he bought it he took me for a drive and couldn't believe how fast it was back in the day. Righto. The fuel gauge says it's full, and I hope that's not right. It's coming down now, it's got power to it. Anyway, we'll see what it's going to do. These are pretty cool, drink holders, nice. It is an aircon car, which is great. Standard stereo still. Now the shifter's very, very loose, but it came with new boots, new bushes for the shifter, so I could sort that out. That's pretty cool, that little sticker. Look at that, cashback already, mad. Yeah, hood line is perfect, lights are good. Alright, it's coming down half tank. See how far she's going to drop. How good is that? I lucked out there. Like, that's still going down. I'd say the fuel light will come on in a second, but that's empty. So I'm going to whack some fuel in it. That just saved me that I don't have to, yeah, I don't have to drain the fuel tank, which is great. How good's that? I'm absolutely stoked. All right, I'm going to go whack some fuel in this, and then I don't have to pull the tank out. I might have to do a fuel pump yet. We'll see how we go. But that is a very, very good sign. I'm pretty happy. So this thing's coming up sweet. Yeah, I've got some plans. No big modifications because it's not that sort of car, but it's just sweet. Righto, so I've got this timing cover off enough to see the belt. And it's not all cracked. If it was shot, it'd be all cracked all through here. I don't think it's great, but it's more than good enough to start, that's for sure. So I'm just going to put one bolt back in that, so as I turn the motor off and on, I'll recheck it. I will have to replace that 100%, but for now I'll be good to start it. So I've got a new battery. I'm going to get that in. Let's see what she's going to do. Check all our oils and waters. Like, they are actually still good. Like, yeah. It actually looks oily. Like it's something to, I don't know, it's green, it's coolant. Yeah. And our intercooler one's still got coolant in it. Like, it's still really clean. So that's good too in there. Cap's still good, so that one's all good. And our oil is really, really good actually. It's really clean, so I'm pretty happy with that. Righto. I'll be honest, I'm scared. Like, I buy a lot of cars obviously, and at times you take a punt. I've taken a big punt on this. I spent a bit of money on it, but the motor could be rooted, but that's the price you pay, you know. Like, you pay a price for a car, a happy medium between what it's worth and whether it's good, not knowing. So let's see what she's going to do. So here we go. I put 20 bucks worth of fuel in it, which has given us a quarter of a tank. I'll set you up over here, guys, and we will see if the fuel pump works, see if anything works. So we'll just get you set up and we'll go from there. Righto, see what it's going to do. I don't even know if the fuel pump's going to work or what, so. I can hear the fuel pump. We'll give it a couple of primes and give it a go. That sounded very Subaru head gasketish. Come on. You can hear something going on with the fuel pump and the boot and the tank. Righto, that is not how we wanted that to go, but we can now try and work out whether it's fuel or spark. I'll be back to you soon. Righto, what I'm going to do is check for spark without checking for spark. So start your bastard, straighten the throttle body, right? So straight in there, and that'll give us stuff into the cylinder to see if it'll start. Right, and then we'll see if it'll fire, because if it fires that means it's sparking, and then we're going to look at fuel. Ooh, maybe it's getting fuel up. Might go a bit more motivation, and then we will see what it's going to do. Might see if I can get a bit more in down through that one. Comes back to the airbox, that must be right. See what that's going to do. It sounds like it's starting to unblock the injectors or something, I don't know. Wants to go. Righto. I don't think it's terribly far off, to be honest. I might pull that one there off. Straight into that manifold. Might actually just get petrol. Alright, let's see what fuel we're getting. Undone that fuel line there. I don't know if it's the return or the right one, but let's see what it's going to do. Definitely pumping some fuel, and it smells pretty fresh. Look, it's not too bad, but that's plenty of fuel to be pumping to prime the injectors. So in theory, it's got fuel. But whether the injectors are opening or not is another thing. But we might go another pump and get rid of any shit fuel that was in the line. But to me, that was plenty of fuel. Like, that's just whether the fuel's old. Like, I did put fresh fuel in, and it was showing that it was empty on the gauge, and it's not terrible. So. Should be fine. I'd just say the injectors are stuck, so it doesn't want to start. So you need to get some fuel into this thing. So intercooler off, I suppose, throw some fuel in the throttle body and go from there. The little bit I've chucked in hasn't really helped. I did hose the shit out of this car yesterday, so there could still be water in something. Like, I don't normally wash an engine bay as intensively as what I washed this one yesterday, but it had to be done. Like, it was putrid. So might go and get a socket, undo this intercooler so I can get to the throttle body, so we can jam fuel straight in there. I think we'll give it one more go with the key. Now I've cleaned a bit of that fuel out, but yeah, there's no real way of me getting fuel into the manifold without the throttle body there. Normally there's a few vacuum lines you can sort of pour it in, but it's just not today's luck. But anyway, righto, we'll give it one more try with the key, and then I'll pull the intercooler off. We'll stick some of that fuel down the throttle body. If it wants to go, it's not far off. I just say that, yeah, just got to get enough fuel to get a heat cycle in it. There's probably certain ways to do this, but this probably isn't the best way, but it is the way I'm going to do it. I just want to get some fuel in that throttle body and down into those cylinders so that we can see if she's gonna go. So let's see what it's gonna do. Open those butterflies up. Well, there you go, she runs, but yeah. So that tells me that I may have to pull the injectors out and clean the injectors. I think the injectors are stuck, because fuel injection cars and carby cars are the same. You can stick fuel down the throat of a carby and make it run. You can stick fuel down the throat of down the throttle body of an injected car. It's still going to make it into the cylinder, to the spark plug, and make it spark. So, and that's all that I've basically done then. It ran quite well though with just that small amount of fuel, didn't it? So we have no electrical issues. Everything seems to be good. Motor sounded good. It's just, I think the injectors are blocked, so we'll have to pull them out and clean them out, which is fine. Let's give it another go, eh? Sounds good. That's good. We're golden, guys. Righto. That's us. Injectors are working. We just had to get it happening, get it to heat cycle, get some pressure running through those injectors, and that is what we have done. So I'll just do up that intercooler again. Could not be happier, guys. Honestly, let's give it a heat cycle and see what she's going to do. It's running a touch rough, but you know, running's running, isn't it? Rubbing's racing, Harry. Righto. The main thing of all, does the aircon work? Compressor kicked in, so whether that means it works or not, I don't know. I'm going to leave that idle away here. I've got to move the truck, clean up some of these tools, put the bolts back in the intercooler. We'll take it for a spin. I'm happy with that, guys. Need some engine mounts. Look how soft the engine mounts are moving around. Still got all the standard exhaust on it and everything. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll get a bit of heat into her and tighten up some bolts, and I'll be back with you. Let's do this. Okay, yeah, I think it's very, very low on fuel, and that's why when I put it under boost it nosed over. But all in all, guys, I'm quite happy. It's running, driving. Those tyres are absolutely screwed, which is fine. I knew they'd be old. That's her. She's happening. So I've got to put some wheels on it. Got some other Subaru wheels out the back there somewhere. It was last registered in 2013. So yeah, that, my friends, is a result. Look at that. Sweet. Okay. Wheels. I actually have to go do some work now. I've got a couple of tow jobs to go do. And then, yeah, find some wheels for it. And I'll be driving this on the weekend. Very happy. So fuel, I'm going to get some fuel now. And jerry can while I'm out doing jobs. And we'll have a bit more of a play with her. Awesome.